Recognizing and avoiding dark patterns. Hi, everyone. Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Dark pattern is a term used to refer to interface design tricks that are designed to manipulate you into doing things you don't intend to do. The tricks benefit the author of the web page or the app at your expense. Microsoft OneDrive is a great example. It makes many attempts to get you to back up, which seems like a good thing, without clearly informing you of what will happen to your data, even to the point of possibly losing some. So let's identify how we would recognize and avoid some very common forms of what we call dark patterns. Let's start, though, with a more detailed description via Wikipedia. A dark pattern, also known as a deceptive design pattern, is a user interface that has been carefully crafted to trick users into doing things such as buying overpriced insurance with their purchase or signing up for recurring bills. User experience designer Harry Brignall coined the neologism on 28th of July 2010 with the registration of darkpatterns.org, a pattern library with the specific goal of naming and shaming deceptive user interfaces. The website has since moved to deceptive.design. In 2023, he released the book Deceptive Patterns. So the basic idea is that instead of designing an interface to help you accomplish your goals, the designer weaponizes psychology and interface conventions against you. Once you know what to look for, you'll see it everywhere. So let's take a look at 9 of the most common examples of dark patterns you'll encounter on the internet or in apps. Roach Motel. I love that name. You can check in anytime, but you can never leave. These are services and products that are nearly impossible to cancel once you've signed up. Gym memberships and streaming services do this by hiding the cancel button. For a while, the New York Times required that you call and talk to a person in order to cancel your subscription, not only making it difficult, but giving them the opportunity to literally try and convince you otherwise. This is a hard one to avoid other than taking the time to locate or research the cancellation process before you subscribe. Hidden costs. Say you decide to purchase some product at a quoted price. Great! As you go through the checkout process, though, you'll find that additional charges have been added. Some might be optional, but they default to being added, while others just appear. The result is that if you complete the purchase, you'll pay more than your originally quoted price. Pay attention to the checkout process. Uncheck any optional items you don't need or want. And if there are additional charges that you don't understand, cancel the purchase. Confirm shaming. This is when you say no to an offer or you unsubscribe from something. You might be presented with a final confirmation button that shames you for making the decision. For example, declining an offer includes a button saying something like, "No thanks, I don't want to save money." Make the decision that's right for you, regardless of what the button says. Misdirection. A great example of a dark pattern is to make the Accept All Cookies button big and colorful, while the decline option is somewhere else in tiny gray text. Some newsletter or commercial email subscriptions do the same thing with their unsubscribe link. Pay very close attention to what's on the screen, regardless of its size or its color. There are tricky or confusing questions and options. Dialog boxes can be so confusingly worded that you're just not sure what it is they're offering you or asking. For example, an unsubscribe page might have a checkbox labeled, "Yes, I don't want to unsubscribe." It's natural to check the unsubscribe, but the reality might be the exact opposite. Once again, pay close attention to the wording of the various options that you've been presented. Forced continuity. Say you download a free tool and you use it for a while, only to discover that it was a free trial, and you're now forced to pay a subscription in order to keep using it. Some programs are upfront about this, but they often hide a truly free alternative. Others are less clear. You may need to decide whether to pay or not, or whether or not to dispute a completely unexpected credit card charge. The theme continues. Pay close attention to the wording as you download any software or make other purchases. Disguised ads. This one's as old as the web, I think. Everything from complete articles and other content can be designed to look like independent content, only to have been sponsored, explicitly or otherwise, by a third party with an agenda. It's not an article. It's an advertisement pretending to be information. The only real solution here, of course, is to be skeptical of everything you read. Pay particular attention to whether or not the website has an agenda, paid or otherwise. Disguised ads, number 2. Download buttons. You've probably seen product pages plastered with download buttons that are easily mistaken for the real download button for the product you want. Click the wrong one and you're taken to another product, or worse, you download some other product without realizing it. Those download buttons were all ads. Look for that little ad symbol or other indication that a button is an ad, and carefully locate the one true download button for the software you actually want. Incomplete information. This is the one that probably bugs me the most, and the one for which the OneDrive backup feature is the greatest offender. The service is offered as a backup, which of course people like me frequently insist is an absolute necessity. And yet, OneDrive's backup, while useful if you understand it, isn't a true backup. And turning it on has massive implications that simply aren't described. The material recommending you turn it on sidesteps all these major ramifications of actually doing so. This can be very difficult to discover before enabling a feature like this, but to the best of your ability, research so you know what it is you're getting into. Sometimes these situations are just bad design that hasn't been thought through. But unfortunately, all too often, dark patterns are put there on purpose. They are deliberate techniques exploiting psychological tricks to get you to act against your own best interests. Your best defense is a strong sense of skepticism and paying very close attention to everything that's being presented to you. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/191601. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.